Hi, my Vice Astrology Tribe, Cosmic Insight Astrology. I am back with another video. My name is Christina. I am your co-pilot today. So, the wound is the place where the light enters you, said Rumi. A reminder that struggles often lead to spiritual growth and enlightenment. Fitting for Saturn's lessons in Pisces, Trine, Mars in Cancer. It's going to happen at 14 degrees, and Mars is going to conjunct with Sirius, the dog star. It is a harmonious aspect. It is some sweetness from heaven, right? It is kissing aspect, something what is granted for us. Trine is Jupiterian in flavor. We talk about that all the time. It is a blessing for us. So let's talk about the archetype and also mythology a little tiny bit. And then also how is it going to affect the collective? And then I'm going to analyze each individual signs as usual. Saturn in Pisces symbolize structure, discipline, and boundaries. Pisces has no boundaries at all, and Saturn makes sure Pisces going to say no, and it will be respected Piscean people, Saturn being here. Pisces represents spirituality, dreams, and subconscious. Together, Saturn in Pisces bring discipline, focus on the ethereal and emotional kingdom, promoting structured compassion and responsibility in spiritual and emotional matters. Pisces rules the 12th house and it's ruled by Neptune, Mother Teresa, forgiveness, martyrhood as well. It rules the underprivileged, hospice, hospital, hotels, anything to do with jail, prison, orphans, and also arts as well, photography, filmography. And then Mars in Cancer, actually, it's in a fall. And Mars is the planet of action, drive, and aggression. By Cancer is really nurturing, protective, and truly emotional and emotionally driven. Mars in Cancer channels assertive energy into caring and protective actions, often defending your home, your family, and your nations, your history as well. And Sirius is the dog star. It's located in the constellation of Canis Major. Sirius is often associated with wisdom, honor, and fame, and spiritual enlightenment. It has connection to ancient Egyptian mythology as the star of Isis and is seen as a gateway to higher kingdom and, esoteric knowledge as well. So let's see the mythological context over here. Saturn is Kronos, right? In Greek mythology, and it was the titan of time and structure. His placement in Pisces symbolizes the integration of time and discipline into spiritual practices, promoting the idea of structured enlightenment or mastery of the subconscious mind. It helps you to actually leave behind any kind of self-sabotaging behavior, getting rid of, drug addiction or alcohol addiction, because Neptune also rules alcohol and drugs as well, pharmaceuticals as well, even the cartel. So it's helping us to getting rid of some kind of self-sabotaging behavior. And Mars is actually in Greek mythology is Ares, the god of war. But in Cancer, this warrior energy becomes a defender of the heart of the home. It's in fall. It's the fallen warrior, actually. It's not an aggressor, it's a protector. It will take action based on deep emotional motivation and family bonds. And Sirius, as Isis and Anubis, Sirius was as central to Egyptian mythology associated with the goddess Isis and the god Anubis. Sirius rising marked the flooding of the Nile and was seen as a signal of renewal, fertility, and divine favor. Its influence on this trine suggests a time when divine intervention, protection, and guidance are particularly potent. So let's see what kind of implication will bring, collectively for us this trine. This trine is really a blessing for us. Also, you have to know Saturn is the general, while Mars is the warrior, right? And Saturn also being very spiritual in Pisces, so it's more like have a lot of compassion as well. And Mars also not the aggressor, but a protector. So between this trine, I would think some kind of amazing geopolitical harmony and diplomatic partnership will like come to surface. So anything to do like diplomatic efforts between countries, anything to do with humanitarian and social justice issues. For example, international summits where leaders adopt compassionate yet structured policies guided by a desire for long-term peace and protection. That is Mars in Cancer, and also spiritual integrity is Saturn in Pisces. So I truly hope we will have some kind of ceasefire with, on Middle East, because this is getting very, very disturbing and scary for all of us. Also, it could be some kind of spiritual renaissance, anything to do with our belief system, because Pisces is very spiritual, it's our beliefs as well. Like religious and spiritual organization could undergo some kind of reform, and they can focus right now on compassion and accountability as well, because there is spiritual leaders who going to have to be accountable for their actions. So Saturn in Pisces brings structure to faith-based system, and Mars in Cancer going to drive these reforms to protect vulnerable communities, resonating with the archetype of Isis as the protector of the oppressed. Then we're going to have some kind of strategic climate action and also some kind of new water policies. Both of them are water sign. It's trining in a water sign, the alignment going to catalyze international agreements on water conservation and climate change as well, driven by a blend of emotional urgency and strategic long-term planning. And also because Sirius is over here, Sirius is fertility, right? And it could actually bring in healing. So perhaps we're going to have some kind of policies, like we're going to have well all over in the world, even in third world countries, where is water all dirty and they have no water whatsoever. They have to walk like miles to get some dirty water to drink. So we will actually have, because it's very compassionate, very nurturing water sign. So they are going to take care of the underprivileged. And also there will be a revolution in mental health approaches as well, because, Pisces is mental health and it's trauma, anything to do with our emotional well-being. And we're going to address traumas on a different way. We're going to invite families in to actually on the therapies, and it's going to help heal the people who have some kind of mental illness. Family will be really supportive and protective for the ones who needs to get healed. But also it could be some kind of global movements for domestic rights, right? Anything to do with the welfare of children. And it could be also, like like reform with the domestic abuse protection as well, because Mars in Cancer, it's going to be here for a long time. I told you guys about that because it's going to go and retrograde back in January 23rd to Cancer from Leo, and it's going to go direct February 24th, 2025, and it's going to go back to Leo again in March, mid-March. So, Mars going to be in Cancer for a long time, so definitely anything to do with domestic abuse and protection will be in center of attention for sure. And then also preservation of sacred sites, anything to do with historical sites, because Cancer rules the fourth house, and fourth house also in collective, it's history. Um, it's the land. So anything to do with heritage of the countries and anything to do with sacred spaces, like the Chinese wall, some kind of monumental structures, which is also spiritual as well and historical as well, and it's going to go under protection. It could be also something to do with water, so some kind of ocean, part of ocean going to be also like a protected national reserve, something like that. But definitely that it's going to bring in more honor for spiritual heritage and more responsibility. Saturn in Pisces, it's a lot of responsibility, conservation of lands and conservation of air, any kind of area, even if it's ocean related as well. And, Mars in Cancer could be respiratory illnesses. Saturn and Neptune, even if it's a trine, it could be do something with Neptune is flu and pandemic and viruses. So it could indicate some kind of new virus coming in, but somehow we're going to manage it very well because it's a trine, and we're going to manage that at home and with holistic healing or something to do with herbal remedies, and it could be quickly rebound from those kind of viruses that's come for us. And then we're going to have like something to do with peace and compassion. Because it could be something to do with empathy, forgiveness, healing past historical wounds as well, because we have Sirius over here with Mars, and Sirius definitely is going to be the hope, the star of hope here, the divine guidance, and it's going to bring in conflict resolution in this situation. And yes, there could be something to do with healthcare reform as well. And as I said, it will be something to do with spiritualism, like the doctors going to advise to go and sunbathe or go to the wood and like forest bathe over there, or anything to do with natural healing, connect with nature. This is earthing, very, very important, guys. Actually, earthing, I bought all the mattresses, and every single day I go out barefoot in my garden and I stand over there for 15 minutes or walking around barefoot. And that is earthing, and it is making a lot of differences in our life. But I bought all the mattresses and inside shoes as well, because of it's going to help also to decrease the EMF toxicity in our homes. So you might want to look into it. Yes, definitely, it could be really great. Anything to do with gardening, if you live by the ocean or by the water, any kind of water, lake, stream, whatever, clean it up, make sure you are cleaning the water. Um, there could be some kind of amazing opportunity for innovation of water-related technologies. For example, water purification technologies, or anything to do with underwater exploration, something to do with submarines, because Saturn is submarines. It could be also sustainable aquatic farming going to be very, very widespread and advanced as well. Yeah. And then we are moving toward to collective healing, and we might going to collab. I'm a Buddhist, and I have changed my belief system not a long time ago, a year ago about, but I got my Gohanzon actually 6 weeks ago, and I'm chanting every single day. You can see on my screen the Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. That's what I'm chanting 15 minutes in the mornings and 15 minutes at night. You can start with 5 minutes. It's really suits for me and my family. My boys are also Buddhist. My husband not yet, but he doesn't mind it. And he's going with us usually wherever we go. But it made a lot of difference for us. That's why I changed my belief system, because of somehow other religion didn't suit me, and Buddhism is not something very strict. It's refrain yourself from doing bad, but it is not like very strict, and it is not judgmental at all. And other religion could be. And also I would, as a Catholic before, I was like, and I read the Torah, the Bible, the Old and the New Testament, and the Kabbalah and everything. But uh, the point is over here, I don't think so. Like, I can sin until I'm 80, and if I turn to Jesus Christ, then all my sin will be forgiven. Somehow it just doesn't suit me at all. But do whatever it suits for you and your family, and just try to pray. And I always pray for the collective and other people before I pray for myself. I always pray for others first, and it helps, and it's truly recognizing my effort. All right, so what else could be, because Pisces, Saturn in Pisces and Mars in Cancer could bring in some kind of astrological or some kind of esoteric new wisdom, something going to gain popularity. Maybe, like everybody going to learn. It could be actually they going to implement astrology or meta communication, which I can't wait, because I always wanted to create a school like that for children. With astrology and anything to do with meta communication or mysticism, and it will increase something to do with higher wisdom, understanding the cosmic consciousness, and like we going to study, and they going to teach children in school, for example. Definitely, because Saturn is a government and also leaders, it could be some kind of empathetic leadership in election as well, and we're going to focus on family values. The candidates going to focus on empathy and family values, and something to do with compassion, which going to gain favor in election. Anything to do with healing the nature and healing our people together. So it could be really amazing if we would get emphasis on those kind of things. We also going to protect anything to do with the endangered species. For example, Mars in Cancer and Saturn in Pisces could bring in some kind of issue with big mammals, right? And somehow there will be some activism going on, which is going to protect those kind of species. So what else going to happen? Yes, definitely alternative and holistic education and alternative and holistic medicine going to get in limelight as well. There could be also something to do with defensive strategies, something to do with technology and cybersecurity for the countries. Obviously, Mars rules the eighth house of banks and hackers as well in Scorpio. So I would say there could be some kind of new measures in cybersecurity. And because Saturn in Pisces is hospitals, right? And anything to do with that kind of data, they might going to have to create some kind of new technological measures which is going to protect the hospital's data as well and the patient's social security and data. And because of Pisces' art, filmography, and photography, this could be also bringing in some kind of new and beautiful new documentaries as well. And Saturn in Pisces, it's practicing something, it is healing modalities, anything to do with acupuncture, because Saturn is your structure. So, for example, acupuncture, acupressure, anything to do with Reiki, like those kind of spiritual healing practices, they're going to get some kind of support from the government. Saturn is the government. Also, because of Mars is in Cancer, Cancer is female, and it's trines with Saturn, something to do with government, but compassion. It could bring in some kind of feminine leadership, the influence of the feminine leadership, right? This is a feminine energy, and Sirius also divine feminine energy, and it doesn't have to be the US, guys. It is around the world. And, Mexico is already having a female leader. So in general, it's going to be more females in leadership. All right, guys, let me see. So let's go to Aries rising, sun and moon. All right, Aries rising sun and moon is going to happen in your 12th house, Pisces, and Mars is in Cancer in your 4th house. So you might create a sacred space at home for meditation or healing practices, integrating both psychological and emotional well-being. Serious energy could guide this process toward profound inner peace. And there could be some kind of family ancestry research. You're going to dive into the family roots, anything to do with ancestral healing work, anything to do with getting rid of family karma. And it could be also like you want to take on to your family's wisdom and family heritage, or you might going to find your biological mother, father, because you didn't know who were they. Also, you are capable to heal childhood traumas through therapy, counseling, and anything to do with childhood issues. And you just want to get through it. You're gonna go back to therapy. You're going to get rid of self-sabotaging behavior. It also could bring in some kind of light in family matters, some kind of secret is surfacing. As I said, you might going to find out your father is not your biological father or something like that. And you are building emotional resilience because of Saturn is in Pisces, helping you with resilience. You are courageous. You are actually really being responsible right now during this time. And it could be also like you will take care of a family member, end of life care, something like that, because 12 house could be a hospice, but you are taking care of in hospice an elderly at your home and not in a hospital setup hospice. Whoever needs a support, emotional support. All right, Taurus rising, sun and moon. Saturn is in your 11th house in Pisces, Mars is in your 3rd house in Cancer. So anything to do with community-based spiritual initiatives, leading or participating in community programs that focus on spiritual growth, healing, and emotional well-being, especially with the influence of series which amplifies transformative communal experiences. You also can start writing or teaching your wisdom, your spiritual wisdom. Focus on publishing books, articles, or blogs that blend emotional wisdom and anything to do with your spiritual knowledge, because Saturn in Pisces is spiritual knowledge. Also, it could be something to do with you might going to connect with groups or organizations focused on mental health, family support, and emotional resilience using both your skills and empathic understanding. You are capable to launch a podcast or blog during this time. And the insight going to be what you are sharing is spiritual based or mental wellness based. You can also engage in local advocacy work that protects vulnerable groups such as children or elderly or mentally ill people. Anything to do with people who are neglected somehow. And you are also capable to create a spiritual book club as well, if you would like to, where you, and the prayer books as well. And you can read for people or children and healing, maybe people who are in hospice or foster care, but you are reading for them. All right, Gemini rising, Sun and Moon. Saturn is in your 10th house in Pisces. Mars is in your 2nd house in Cancer. This is going to be a career shift toward healing profession. With Saturn in the 10th house, you may feel compelled to pivot toward a career in therapy, spiritual counseling, or energy healing. Fields that blend Saturn's discipline with Mars' emotional energy. Anything to do with investment, but you're going to invest in a program which is going to help you with your emotional intelligence. So it could be something to do with like you're going to a wellness center where you're going to learn how to use compassion in your work. There could be also some kind of public recognition in your or for your philanthropic work. You can gain recognition because you are contributed with someone, or maybe you entered an organization and you become a leader in an organization which is helping community healing and focused on emotional health or mental health. Or suicide prevention, something like that. 12th house ruled Pisces could be suicide as well. Family abuse, children, domestic abused people. Financial stability could come through spiritual guidance. You might going to hire an astrologer or some kind of psychic, and they can help you to actually facilitate all the energy, all the positive energy, and make sure you are taking opportunity and you are an opportunist right now to take on to these good energies. Um, Anything to do with financial coaching as well. Focus on starting or supporting a nonprofit that blends business and spiritual growth. And you can also become a mentor, or you can actually ask somebody to be your mentor as well. Um, to develop some kind of emotional resilience, or maybe learn integrity. Cancer rising, Sun and Moon. Saturn is in your 9th house in Pisces. Mars is in your 1st house. Personal rebranding around spiritual themes. Mars is in the first house. It might going to inspire you to change your personal image to reflect spiritual or healing themes, incorporating serious emphasis on divine wisdom. For example, you're going to have some kind of opportunity to go abroad. It could be a spiritual journey, though, or studies abroad, learn a new language. Have some kind of foreign exchange student in your home, or you will become a foreign exchange student. You can learn a new language, and later on, it could bring you financial abundance. You can also become a spiritual leader during this time. You can actually find yourself in legal and ethical battles, and you're going to defend someone, a family member, right? Or you can defend, for example, if you are an attorney, you are fighting for the cleaning up the water from the big corporates. You are also capable to teach and publish right now, publish your knowledge, guide other peoples. Um, Anything to do with healing, anything to do with compassion. You might going to actually do something with photography, filmography during this time, maybe studying. You can actually create content for videos, books, and articles because ninth house is there. And also, you can go and travel to retreats, retreats with your friends, but or your older siblings. But it's going to change you totally. Leo rising, Sun and Moon. Saturn is in your eighth house in Pisces. Mars is in your 12th house in Cancer. Research in metaphysics or psychology. You might going to study psychology. You can study anything to do with forensic astrology, financial astrology. This could be something to do with getting rid of childhood traumas, sex traumas, and get healed during this time, paying off of karmic karma, family karma. And you are also capable to volunteering in crisis or end of life care because Mars is in your 12th house, and it could be hospice, right? Or it could be like you are in a hospital and taking care of children whose mother gave birth was actually addict and they are withdraw from drugs. There could be also financial planning as well, estate planning, trust, um, but with some kind of spiritual values and karmic principles. So it could be like, all right, my children are not going to get my trust unless, they are never going to use drugs or something like that. And there could be also secret philanthropic activities as well. Behind the scene, you are working or helping a charity. You don't want to be known because maybe you are really wealthy and your ego doesn't need recognition anymore, but somehow you help for the people who are mentally ill or some kind of living in poverty. And you can also involve yourself in esoteric studies or anything to do with the financial market, hidden assets, learning actually cryptocurrency or how to ethically invest. And because of spiritual beliefs. So for example, you not go Mars in Cancer not going to invest in gun stock, for example, or in war stock. So that is the spiritual and ethical influence in your investment. And you're also capable to heal deep-seated emotional traumas as well, sexual traumas as well. All right, Virgo rising, Sun and Moon. Saturn is in your seventh house in Pisces. Mars is in your 11th house in Cancer. You can form partnership and partnership, maybe you're going to have actually a new business partner. Maybe you are actually having like your third spouse is coming into your life, a third husband or third wife, and you can meet in a wellness resort or in a holistic therapy, or you went for an event which is actually anything to do with maybe astrology, or it's a conference and you meet your partner over there. It's also could be like you are going to lead some kind of community events, because 11th house, right? Whatever has to provide some kind of structural foundation. So you're going to be the event planner of a big spiritual, what is that, like a seminar, for example. Also, there could be as well some kind of growth through marriages, right? Because it's a trine. So maybe your third husband or wife is very wealthy, and it's going to be, but somehow it doesn't matter if it's wealthy, because there is a lot of emotional understanding and very deep rooted karmic spiritual connection as well. Um, and you're going to have a lot of support from networking. And you're also going to support vulnerable communities as well. So you are the protector, and you are the one who is standing up and advocating and protecting underprivileged and vulnerable groups, and elderly and children. And you will have, and you will be driven by a sense of duty and compassion. You can also create some kind of new spiritual platform where people can connect, like meditation, astrology, healing arts, kind of groups with like-minded individuals. Or you are capable to join a platform like that. And you are talking about humanitarian crisis, and how to compassionately actually help, and you may be going to be someone who have to clean up and create an organization which is water related, or big ocean mammal, marine biology, something like that. Maybe actually you live by the shore, you go to walk in the morning, you find, beached animals, you call the authorities, and you are the one who is saving the life of those animals. Libra rising sun and moon, it's going to happen in your sixth house in Pisces, and Mars is in your 10th house in Cancer. Healing profession advancement, opportunities in careers related to healthcare, anything to do with spiritual coaching, therapy. Saturn disciplined energy could mean a slow but steady climb up in fields that require patience and care. Health regimes, balancing emotions and structures because of the sixth house, anything to do with fitness, yoga, gym, like new membership, you're going to be really disciplined, you know, and you also might going to start to, what is that, fasting right now, and it's going to give you some kind of enlightenment, perhaps. Definitely, you're going to become more compassionate. And if you will become a leader, you will become and you will lead by compassion and heart. And at work, that could be something to do with you want to support your employees' well-being. You might going to create a meditation center for talking about mental health care, or they can talk to you if they going through some kind of major issues which is mental related, or emotional, or anything to do with drug related. You're also capable to launch a new business, and you can integrate compassionate service, environmental responsibility, or wellness driven by the need to protect and nurture, protect nature as well, protect ocean as well. You can combine Mars action-oriented approach with Saturn, structure, meticulous research, focusing on fields like psychiatry, psychology, or even anything to do with structures like how to heal, uh, chiropractic, or like acupuncture related practices as well. And you are capable to climb the corporate ladder, but it's not with fight, it's with empathy, it's with not assertiveness, but you're going to gain leadership role through your compassion, and because of you are really really caring as well, and you seems to be protect everyone, and people going to like you for that. Scorpio rising, Sun and Moon, Saturn is in your fifth house, Pisces, Mars is in your ninth house, Cancer. Creative spiritual project abroad, ninth house. You may find opportunities to work on creative project that blends spiritual themes and travel, such as setting up a meditation retreat or spiritual art workshop in a foreign country. And Sirius going to influence this and brings wisdom and creativity into this field. So you might going to go to take photos in foreign countries, and or maybe you just going to go abroad and take some, maybe you're just gonna go to a retreat center, um, a spiritual retreat, but it could be also some kind of art camp as well. And it could be also like you are publishing something. Maybe you are opening a podcast, a spiritual webinar, uh, something to do with filmography, photography, but it could be based in a foreign country or in a different language, perhaps. And also you're going to transform your romantic life, and you might going to have a romance from abroad with a foreigner right now. And you can actually also invest in something to do with domestic safety. So maybe you're going to invest in new cameras right now around the house. You also going to consider integrating travel and learning experiences, and maybe even for your children, you might going to even invite a foreigner to your home to teach your children foreign language. It could be a foreign exchange student, or you're going to help and actually support your children to go abroad and travel and learn abroad. But you also might going to write a book, publish a book, anything to do with Mars and Saturn, how to become disciplined and raise children in a foreign country, and how to still keep your spirituality or your religion's belief, something like that. And also, if you are looking for manager or manager or an agent, this is a good time for that. It could bring in legal success as well, in international work, in creative project as well. You also might going to win a lottery as well. Sagittarius rising, Sun and it's gonna happen in our fourth house, and Mars is in our eighth house. This is good time to find a home, or actually have some good interest rate. If you want to pay off your mortgage, if you want to sell your house, it could be with big profit. It could be also, like you're going to change. It is an emotional healing through ancestral work. Anything to do with psychological work, with your family, some kind of family therapy, which is going to change the dynamic in your family, and it's going to heal the wounds, the generational wounds and traumas. And it is definitely supported by Sirius, because it's going to provide healing and wisdom. You can also invest in property. Maybe you want to buy a spiritual retreat and wellness center as well. And or maybe you're just going to actually add at your home, a new room where you're going to create a meditation room or wellness center. You can also start to do family legacy planning, anything to do with inheritance, long-term legacy, spiritual values of your family, to do a trust, a will, right? This is really good time for that. Invest in index or invest in index or life insurance, new insurances as well. If you have any kind of medical malpractice or prenup coming up, it's turning for your favor. It could be also some kind of home renovation coming in, redecorating, but maybe you buy a picture and it's going to be something beautiful and spiritual. And I'm a Sagittarius rising, and that's what I'm doing. Actually, I just got a beautiful, huge moon picture from my husband because I'm really, 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 really obsessed with the moon. But you know that anything to do with your psyche is changing. You are leaving behind fears. You almost like you're going to be the patriarch or the matriarch of the family, even if your parents still are alive. You know, somehow you become really, really powerful because it is power. But also, you know, some of us going to go through, like we might going to lose a grandmother or an authority figure, and we can actually inherit some money. Capricorn rising, sun and moon, Saturn is in our third house, and Mars is in your seventh house in Cancers. You know, seventh house is partnerships, third house is also niece, nephews, aunt, uncles, younger siblings, you know, short distance traveling. You may focus on developing more empathy, communication strategies in partnership, and you know, anything to do with community and neighborhood community. You're going to focus on your neighbors and on your younger sibling and your relatives as well. You might also start some kind of podcast or, you know, online workshops as well, and you're going to start some kind of online teaching, counseling, you know, anything to do with. You might also going to actually redesign your website, and it could bring in like-minded people, and you are speaking the truth with wisdom right now. And definitely you are capable to write a book. You are capable to have a coffee table book right now and publish that. You're going to work close with friends and with a partner on your blog or on co-authoring actually a book. But the book has to be something to do with emotional growth, healing, or anything to do with art or spiritual development. If you are starting to initiate a workshop, a class, you can do that online. Or you are also capable, I know, to do something with skill-based studies, licensing, or maybe craftsmanship as well. Your negotiation skills going to be really good. Legal contracts or anything to do with mediation is turning for your favor in your personal relationship. You might going to actually have a committed relationship out from the nearby neighborhood. You know, maybe you're gonna get engaged with a neighbor and fall in love with someone close by you. Aquarius rising sun and moon. Saturn is in your second house in Pisces. Mars is in your sixth house in Cancer. Anything to do with financial planning, you know, like because second house is finances, but also because of sixth house is your work. You know, there will be some kind of new spiritual values and morals, and it's going to create opportunity to raise your salary, to ask for actually a raise. And or you know, your salary is rising because of you are having a lot of employees who are very compassionate, and they can stay overtime, and they are really, really compassionate and care about your business, right? And and that's why the whole company's value is going to increase. So as your self-worth will And you can actually shift toward careers that blends finance with healing, anything to do with life coaching or financial counseling. And you can incorporate the two together, become a financial astrologer, for example. Workplace is going to become a lot more zen and peaceful. So you might going to have meditation after lunch, or healing with crystal healing, or those kind of sounds balls during lunch. But definitely emotional support at work, um, at your workplace. And there could be also a new holistic health routine, because sixth house Mars in Cancer, and you also going to involve your family. Maybe your whole entire family going to go to run the marathon, and you practice together. And it is almost like a spiritual ritual. And it heals the whole entire family. You want to heal maybe your husband or wife, but you are doing with them and the children as well, and it heals the whole entire family. It could be also like you going to create something which is artistic, and it could be, increasing your income, and it could be a new skill. Perhaps you want to become a Reiki master, a yoga teacher, a gym. What is that? Gym, not gym teacher. Like. Trainer, I forget sometimes words, something to do with art therapy as well. And it's going to help your income. Uh, and you can invest in yourself, invest in your wellness, invest actually in therapy apps and holistic products, health retreats, and it might also going to increase your salary as well. All right, or even pharmaceutical, or maybe weight loss products. You can invest on stock, and it will invest your wealth. And my dear Pisces rising, Sun and Moon, Saturn is in our first house, Mars is in our fifth house in Cancer. You can rebrand yourself right now. You can actually undertake a significant change. It is like phoenix from ashes. Your public persona, your business, the face of the business is changing, and you bring in some kind of transformative healing, spiritual growth, and you are actually healed as well. And it's going to transform your business, because if you are healed, you are happy. And if you are happy, you are capable to influence other people. The happiness is showing, guys, and it could be really powerful. It's actually magnetize you, and actually it's attract people. Anything to do with creative project, emotional wisdom as well. Launching a book, you might go into launch a new film, a documentary, or your book is going to be published, or you going to actually have some kind of artwork, which could be out for the public as well. uh, Anything to do with commitment, and you will be really, really disciplined right now. You might heal the relationship with a child or a grandchild, or actually you might going to become a grandmother or a mother during this time, or you find out you are pregnant if you are in that age. You can also develop new programs if you want to create workshops and seminars as well. And right now, this is the time when you are writing up what you're going to do. And you're also going to focus on your child's emotional well-being as well, or spiritual well-being as well, because fifth house is your children. And speculative businesses, it could bring in actually some kind of uh, inheritance from family, but it could be maybe a piece of art or jewelry, which is really valuable. And Saturn in Pisces could be a very expensive watch. You might going to give it to your grandchild, or you might going to get it from your grandparent who is ready to do the transition, and you are going to be the one who gets that. And it is not only emotional, value for you, but also it is valuable as well because Pisces is glamour and Saturn is Chronos, so it's a watch, right? Um, it could be also like you are actually, uh, you wrote a book, but it is something to do with afterlife or anything to do with the underprivileged people. Maybe you actually had a photography series and you went to underprivileged or third world countries and you're ready to show that right now for the public. You can also actually launching a spiritual business online, something to do with products. For example, you are doing your own essential oils, your own, like maybe medical marijuana oils, crystals, or, you are some kind of meditation apps, or you are doing meditation online to people. But this is definitely bringing in healing for other people. All right, lovelies. I hope you like that and you will be back for me. Please like, subscribe, and comment below. Let me know. Let me know how did it work out for you. I really love to hear about you guys. All right, I'm gonna talk to you soon with another video coming up, and I'm coming up actually with the October 2nd with the eclipse video tomorrow. Hopefully I have a little time. Thank you so much for being here with me and support me. Bye for now.